Shalom. I'll start off by giving all glory, praises, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And salutations to the brothers that teaching His truth and sincerity. And shalom to the hopeful elect. And one third is sincere listeners. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. And Yahweh Shai being the name of His Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, this gospel, this truth, salvation, the kingdom of heaven is for the Israelites, who are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and the ones scattered abroad that may look like the other nations, but your spirit resonates with this truth. The kingdom of heaven and salvation is for you. Um, Today's video, I'm going to entitle it something along the lines of the importance of breaking bread with the brotherhood and sharing information, that's useful for you in this walk. All right. And pretty much, brothers got to understand there's a brotherhood for a reason. And there's a lot of things we could learn from one another. And also, in a good way, we can use one another, all right, to help each other, so to speak. Not in the way of the world, but using each other in a good way. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, we learn from one another, and not just the scripture, not even just this with the scriptures, but obviously starting with the scriptures, and advice and life and whatnot. But brothers shouldn't be afraid to ask questions. For certain brothers, or even amongst your group chat. And what do I mean by asking questions? I mean, like, just simple things like, hey brother, do you have a mechanic? Hey brothers, do you guys have a mechanic that you suggest I can use? That's what I'm talking, like that's what I'm getting at. You know, we can talk about, learning from others and scriptures, and how did you apply the scriptures in this situation, and blah 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 blah. But that's not really what I'm getting at in this video. I'm talking more on like a daily life, day to day kind of thing. Oh, hey brothers, do you guys know where I can get seeded watermelon? Right? You put that in the chat. Maybe a brother knows. You see, we all know things, and you see the importance of sharing information. There's information that each one of us know or have that could be valuable. That's why there's a brotherhood. You see what I'm saying? It's not just about um I guess the monetary, giving, obviously giving your daily bread, so to speak. It's not just about that, but it's also about, contributing in other ways, in the sense of, like if you have information on something, for example, I don't know, somebody that does car insurance or something that gets a good deal. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. I don't know. This is just an example. I'm just throwing stuff out there. And if you know somebody that does certain things, you know what I mean, then share it with the brotherhood. But and also, not even just that, don't be afraid to ask brothers. Right? It goes both ways, right? Okay, a job posting came up. A brother needs a job or something like that. You share it in the group chat or some shit. I don't fucking know. Or share it to the brother personally, or whatever the case may be, right? There's always something that we can learn. So pretty much this video was also inspired from a conversation I actually had with a brother, you know, on our way to camp. And pretty much, we know when you're talking with brothers, the spirit's always going to flow, right? And so pretty much he was telling me about how, I picked him up for camp or whatever. He was telling me he was having some car issues or whatever the case is and stuff like that. And we were talking, and I told him, about my mechanic, whatever, like, okay, I know this one kind of whatever the case may be. And then it clicked me while I'm talking to him. I'm like, hey brother, you know what? This is the reason why there's a brotherhood, bro, because it's important to share information. You see what I'm saying? And so as I came to that epiphany, he also came to the epiphany, like, yeah, you're right, because I have I have all these tools in my garage. Okay, his woman's grandfather had gave him a whole bunch of tools. I guess he was an electrician. This is what he's telling me. And he's like, hey, if brothers need tools, let me know. I might have something that you can use or borrow or have or whatever. You see what I'm saying? But I wouldn't have known that. You see what I'm saying? If he never said that. So I like my point being is that there is certain things that we know. Like if you know there's a certain deal going on, or on whatever, something is on sale, and you can share that information with somebody in the brotherhood, like whatever. I don't know. You know, a caterer. I don't know, right? The possibility is endless. I'm assuming you brothers know what I'm saying. Point being is, don't be afraid to share information. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because you just never know who has what and who can help you where, and that's the reason why there is a brotherhood. You know what I mean? Okay, so let me get some scriptures. I think I made my point. I'm sure you guys get understanding now, but you guys know. This is Ecclesiastes 4:7. Then I returned and saw the vanity under the sun. There is one alone, and there is not a second. Yeah, he hath neither child nor brother, yet there is no end of all his labor. Neither his eye satisfied with riches, neither saith he, for whom do I labor, and bereave my soul of good? This is also vanity, yet is a sore travail. Right. So, you know, pretty much this reminds me, based off the conversation I was having with the brother, right? Like I said, the importance of sharing information. I was pretty much sharing information about, because he was telling me he was having car troubles, and then I told him about a situation where I had car troubles, right? And long story short, my car was giving me problems. I put money into it, tried to fix it, and if I fixed the first part of the issue, tried to fix the second part of the issue, it was still giving me the same issue, right? So I'm sharing this story with him, right? And pretty much I'm sharing it. I was sharing this story with him, letting him know this is the reason why we need to share information, because these are certain things, tips and tricks you can use in your day-to-day life. You can learn from others, learn from other people's experiences, to avoid certain things. Long story short, um, I ended up having to, I sold the car, whatever, got a new one. Um, actually, I sold it to my father. Sold the car to my father. The car was sitting for a few months, so maybe about 4, 5 months or whatever. Right? I'm driving a new car now. By this point, I'm not worried about the car. Um, my dad eventually wants to put the car on the road. The car is not starting. Why is the car not starting? It's been sitting for a while. It needs a new battery, right? The car for me, like I said, my experience driving the car near the end of whatever, quote unquote, end of the car. I'm driving the car on the highway. It's shutting down on me as I'm on the highway. You know what I mean? You know how dangerous that shit is. That's just dangerous. You're going at a certain speed. So in my mind, me driving that car at a certain speed that I want to drive my car at, I'm paranoid, thinking that the car is gonna shut down on me, so to speak. So I'm just like, yo, I'm done with this, right? Driving on the highway, going to certain places, however far, you know what I mean? Traveling a couple hours here, wherever, just constantly driving on the highway. I like to drive my car. I'm a person I like to drive. You know what I mean? I like to drive without no worries, so to speak. So from going to driving with no worries to having problems like that, you see what I'm saying? It weighs on your mind. So you're like, fuck this. I don't want these problems. If the mechanic can't fix the issue, then screw it. Anyways, mind you, it was nothing wrong. It wasn't an engine issue, right? So the car was still kind of salvageable. I just didn't know what it was at this point because I brought it to two mechanics. My first mechanic, he said don't. He said to just scrap the car. The second mechanic, I realized he was just a scammer, right? And whatever. Regardless, car was sitting for months, wasn't starting. So it was at all right. Had to get a new battery, right? I'm realizing now that the car, there was really nothing wrong with the car. It needed a new battery. But whatever, it is what it is. I'm already in a new car. It is what it is. But the car just needed a new battery. This car now is driving perfectly fine, driving anywhere and everywhere. My dad is telling me he's driving how fast with the car, no problem, no issues. He's having no issues. He's traveled to the States and back with it, traveled far with the car, no problem. You see what I'm saying? So I shared that information pretty much saying, sometimes if you're having a certain issue, sometimes it might just be the battery and you don't even know. You see what I'm saying? It is what it is. I have to, fuck, who knows? But I'm just putting that out there for even for my listeners, right? You never know. So if you're having car troubles, your car's shutting down on you, check the battery. Maybe that's just the issue, right? And maybe a certain mechanic knew that. I would say the second one. The first one, he just said to don't worry about the car, just scrap it. But there was really nothing wrong with the car anyways. The engine was still good. Everything was fine. You know, it was just some form of, I don't know, electrical issue, so to speak, which happened to be the battery. Right. So if you're ever having trouble with a car, it's probably the battery, right? And then from there, I pretty much said, wow, I could learn, whatever issue you're going through, I could probably learn from that, and whatever issue I went through, you can learn from me, and whatever, but other brothers can learn from this too, and whoever's listening to this, in truth and sincerity, whatever, you can learn from these situations too to avoid certain pitfalls, whatever the case, putting yourself in more debt, this, that, and third. Who cares? You see what I'm saying? But it's always, like I said, the power of sharing information is very powerful. And we're the brotherhood, we got to look out for each other. In this brotherhood, we got to look out for each other. We're all we got. You see what I'm saying? So it says two are better than one. I think I'm done making my point now. I'm just going to bring out some scriptures. Two are better than one because they have good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat, but how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand, and threefold cord is not quickly broken. Better is a poor and wise child than. All right, that was the point. You guys get it, man. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Proverbs 27:17 says, "Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend." Right? So that's not obviously through rebuke, refinement, through that, through the scriptures, but also just sharing information. Oh, okay, I went through this situation, so you don't gotta go through that. I've been through that, so you don't gotta go through that. You see what I'm saying? That helps of somebody, man. And we're wise men. It would be a no brain. It's a no brainer for us to learn from people's mistakes, man. Don't get caught up into the situation of actually be doing the mistake and having to learn from that mistake. But you can learn from that mistake that you've been through. Don't get me wrong. But if you can avoid that mistake and learn from others, right? It says a smart man learns from his mistakes, a wise man learns from others' mistakes, and that's even all throughout the scriptures. That's us. When we read these scriptures, we're learning from our previous forefathers' mistakes, man. You see what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing. That's why the scripture says, um, let's get it. Romans 15:4, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Right? So everything of the past was written of the Holy Scriptures was written for our learning. Okay. This is Proverbs 18:24. It says, "A man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother." All right, and really, you know, we're friends and we're brothers. So that's the beauty of this walk. You know, when you have the brotherhood, man. Okay, and like I said, we're supposed to look out for one another, have each other's back, man, in all aspects of life, man, in righteousness, man. You see what I'm saying? If you know something, you can share that information. It's valuable. It can help a brother better in his journey, in his walk. You know, even like you're never not in this truth, but you have daily affairs that you need to attend to. So that's what I'm really talking about. And on this side, like if you certain daily affairs, like your car, one of the main things, Satan jumping on your car breaking down, right? If you know a mechanic or something, you can recommend a brother a mechanic. You see what I'm saying? Which is nothing. It's nothing to do that because the reason why, and that's a good example, is because there's a lot of scamming ass mechanics. There's a lot of shiesty motherfuckers. You know, at least the brothers, we're trustworthy men. We're prudent men. We can kind of see through bullshit. We can see through bullshit. We know who does good work. We know who charges fair prices, whatever. We can recommend stuff, man. You see what I'm saying? Let's see what that says in the NLT. No, that's not that good of a translation. I don't like that. NIV maybe. No, KJV had it the best. I don't know why they be butchering these things, man. Anyways, let me read that again. A man that hath friends must show himself friendly. Yeah. So if you have information, you share that shit. No problem. No, you know what I'm saying? Sukasa, mikasa, mikasa, sukasa, so to speak, um, John 15. Let's get John 15:13. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. All right. And the scripture said that a friend is greater than a brother, right? Because you can actually have a physical brother, you know, same parents, everything, whatever, or same father, so to speak, or whatever. In this world, same mother, I don't know. But, in certain instances, it is righteous, right? Where if your father had passed away and your mother marries again and has another, that's righteous, has another child and it happens to be a brother with another man, right? That's righteous. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, whatever. You have a brother, mother or father, so to speak, in righteousness. Let me make that clear. But he doesn't believe the truth. He doesn't believe in his word, right? But then you come amongst friends, so to speak. They're not of your physical same parents, so to speak, but they're of your nation, so to speak. But you build a bond that's closer than the bond you even have with your brother, your physical brother. You know what I mean? So friends are greater in certain instances. Friends are greater than brothers, so to speak, because now you guys are on one accord. You believe in this truth, man. Henceforth, I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. All right, so everything that Yahushua knows, he made it known to the elect, man. He hasn't hidden it from the elect. And that's the beauty of this thing, man, because we understand this truth, and it's plain to us, but it's hidden to the world. Although we're giving it freely to the world cannot receive this. You see what I'm saying? The world that chooses not to receive this word. You know, um, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. Right? Let me get a next scripture. Yeah, John 14 and 17, I believe. John 14 and 17. It says, I'll start at 16. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. But ye know him, for he dwelleth with you, and shall be in you. I will not leave you comfortless, I will come to you. That was the point. The point being was that the spirit of truth that the world cannot receive. See, the world doesn't like truth. They don't like to be told the truth. They get offended by the truth. It's not for them, right? But we can accept the truth. You see what I'm saying? The truth is for the elect, and Lord will we're of that number, right? Let's get this scripture here. This is Hebrews 13 and 1. It says, let brotherly love continue. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. All right, so you know, just you know, just be charitable, man. You know, let's get that. First Peter 4 and 8, and above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. Right, so being charitable can block out previous transgressions, right? You know, and not just being charitable, just cause, not because, not for like not for, I don't know how to put it. Just be charitable. You know what I mean? That's part of being Yahweh Shai, like, so just be it. Like, it just is what it is. It just is. You're not forcing it, it just is. You know? It's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? This is Acts 2 and 42. And it says, let me start at 41. Or 40, Salakia. And with many other words did he testify and exhort, saying, save yourselves from this untoward generation. Then they that gladly, because you have a lot of people that are trying to get one over on you. You see what I'm saying? This world, right? So if you're fitted with certain knowledge in certain areas, man, and you can help somebody with that knowledge, man, you share that, man. Okay. Um, like you come across an informative video of something, and how it could, if it could help you in certain ways in this kingdom, right? We know that nothing's gonna last here, but if it can help you in certain ways, then so be it, man. There's nothing wrong with helping yourself. Do good to thyself, man. All right. Yeah, we're still the poor. Because you do good to yourself, we're still the poor. You know what I mean? But you still have to conduct yourself a certain way. All right. I says, because there's an untoward generation that's against us, man. They don't want to see us winning. They don't want to see us shining spiritually, right? I'm not talking about the physical aspect, which is gonna come for the elect, right? It's still gonna come for us, but regardless, is a spiritual shine before the physical shine. All right. It says, then they that gladly received his word were baptized, and the same day were added unto them about 3,000 souls. Right? You add, like, these are people that just came new into the truth, but brothers that are already in the truth, you're still adding on to, you're still pouring into each other, building up their spirit, building up their soul, right? By baptizing them in the word and just other things, right? That are that fall in line in righteousness, right? And they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, and in breaking of bread and in prayers, right? Exchanging information, helping one another, okay? Whatever the case, whatever they were talking about, man, in righteousness, man, and praying about, all right? Meditating on the scriptures, building each other up, all right? you know, this is First Thessalonians 5:11. Um, says, wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. Okay, so that's what we're supposed to do amongst one another, man, amongst brothers. Even when we come together and we're teaching on the highways and byways, we're being edified by one another, right? And when we watch brothers' videos and do purpose of doing videos to be edified by one another, right? This is a charitable work, right? We're learning, we're getting better, we're iron sharpening iron, all right? This is a charitable work, what we're doing, you know? You know? Let's get a next script here. Proverbs 17:17 says, a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. You know? So love is keeping the commandments. You see what I'm saying? And just being brotherly, man. Simple and plain. You know, let's get Sirach 6:14 says, a faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that hath found such an one hath found a treasure. A brother is born for adversity, right? And that's what I mean. Like, we're all treasures, man. There's every, we all know something that a brother might not know that we can share, and we could be an added. It could be an added benefit unto them. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. We're treasures, man. We're the Lord's treasures. We're a peculiar people. We're special, right? We're special in the ways of this world. I mean, Slaki, we're special in the ways of the Lord, not in the terms of this world. right? In this world, sometimes special has a negative connotation. You know, in this world, they call it special ed. It means like you're stupid or whatever. You know, like a certain class you're in special ed or whatever. But no, they try and like stigmatize the word special, but really it's a good thing, man. Being special is a good thing, man. We can get that, you know, at some online. Special etymology. Special. It says 1200 century. It says given or grant century or 1200 I should say. Given or granted in unusual circumstances, exceptional, also specific, as opposed to general or common. When we're not common, the elect is not common, right? When we are exceptional, the elect is exceptional. Even Jacob's overall, man, the nation of Israel, we're not common. We are exceptional. We are specific. We are peculiar, special, particular, unusual. Yeah, we are unusual. Okay, we're individual, particular. I said that from species, appearance, kind, sort. All right, meaning marked from others by some distinguishing quality, dear, favored. We are favored. We're blessed and highly favored. That's what the black Christians say, right? But we're blessed and highly favored from the Lord. Okay, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Selected for an important task, specially chosen. Are we specially chosen? Weren't we selected? We were called to do this work. This is a important task that we're doing here, man. We're gathering the nation here, man. We're ushering the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, we're heralding Yahweh is coming. That's a specific task, man. We're gonna be judges and rulers of the earth in the kingdom, man. That's a specially chosen task, man. It says specially chosen. It is attested from mid 14th century, extraordinary, distinguished. We are extraordinary. We are extraordinary. Distinguished, having distinctive character, right? We do have a distinctive character about us, man. Okay? All given to us by the Lord. On the notion of used for special occasions, hence excellent, precious. We are precious, bro. We are excellent. We are excellency to the Lord, man. We're the Lord's apple of the Lord's eye, man. All right. It says person or thing set aside for a particular purpose or occasion. All right. This is self-explanatory, man. You know what I mean? But you guys get the idea. All right. So let's go back into the scriptures. Okay. Um, you know what? I think I'm gonna end it off there. And you know, I'm sure brothers got the point. You know, I say, Lord will, you guys are edified by that. And I'll say, Shalom until the next.